This video is going to be the one-stop shop guide for how to cram for your ACT exam that you have tomorrow. Cramming is very, very simple and it's pretty easy. Easy in the sense that it's not complicated and you can do it and have 1 to 2 point improvement over the course of just tonight if you make the right moves and don't waste your time. So really this video is just a guide for how to not waste your time tonight and tomorrow morning. So let's get started. So the first thing before we get into it is there's a few things you should not do. Don't read any books with like skills, useless. Don't take any mini practice problem, practice test sets. That's useless right now. Don't do any group studying. Be an introvert tonight. Don't drink insane amounts of caffeine because you're not going to sleep and then you're going to sleep through your test. I think that's it. Those are the main things you shouldn't do. Now I have a list of about 6-7 things you should do. So let's go through those. Start by picking 1 or 2 sections that you think you really stink at on the ACT. Whether you really actually stink at them or you just stink a little bit, in terms of you just think it's a little more challenging on the English test or the science. Pick 1 or 2 of your most weak sections and take a practice exam for each. We have math and we should soon have English practice exams linked down below on our website. You can access them for free and take them. There's like answer keys. You can even plug them into our website and it'll grade it for you. But go ahead and take those tests and see how you do. You want to practice these sections one last time because it'll give you an opportunity to practice all of those strategies and all those skills that you've been learning over the last few days, weeks, even months, one last time before your test. You get final repetitions, final reps, and you make sure all those strategies and content are fresh in your head before your test the next day. So go ahead, pick 1 or 2 sections that you really stink at and take a practice exam for those, one each tonight. Now the key is you don't just want to take those sections, you want to review the crap out of them, especially if they are skill heavy sections like the English or the math. The thing is, these ACT exams are like repetitive. They're the same thing every time. Even though it might not seem like it, it's really the same question types. Especially on English and math, if you learn the question types, if you get used to the skills that show up again and again by reviewing them after you take each practice test, then you'll slowly build your ability to answer those question types correctly over time. And tonight, you can make progress on that, even if it's just a little bit. So make sure that you analyze your mistakes because those mistakes are evidence of your weaknesses that you are going to exhibit most likely tomorrow on your test. And by reviewing them, you lessen the chance of those mistakes getting in your way. Now, once you've taken practice exams, you have reviewed them question by question, analyzing what you did wrong, why you did it wrong, how you can make sure you don't get it wrong again. The third thing you should do is that same exercise of reviewing your past practice exam mistakes for all of your past practice exams. Even if you've only taken 1 or 2 practice exams, great. Review every single question that you got wrong. Try to understand why you got it wrong. If it was just a timing issue, you couldn't get to the question, whatever. Just try to answer it and see what you might have messed up. If it was a matter of you didn't understand the skill properly, or you messed up using your calculator, or you messed up on that comma rule or this apostrophe rule, take note of it, understand it, and come up with at least some mental note in your mind. For if I see this exact type of question again, what am I going to do to make sure I don't get it wrong? You might not get a mitigation plan in your head for every type of question, but at least for some, if you can, that'll help you get more questions right, potentially, which is better than nothing. I would say keep reviewing, basically try to review every single practice exam that you have. Don't spend too much time practicing itself, but reviewing your mistakes, because again, your mistakes are evidence of your weaknesses. You need to fill those weaknesses, fill those skill gaps, and try to think of filling your skill gaps as a way to fill your gap between your score and your target score, okay? The more skills you fill in that gap, the more you fill that score in your score gap. Now do that until you get sleepy and then go to sleep, because you don't want to stay up too late tonight. It's not a good idea. You're going to, like I said, just end up sleeping through your test and you're going to hate it. Try to get whatever normal amount of sleep you get. If you get 3 hours of sleep every night and you function very well, you should get 3 hours of sleep tonight. If you get 12 hours of sleep every night and that's what you usually do in order to function well, you should try to get 12 hours of sleep. Most likely you need 7-8 hours. I don't recommend sleeping 3 hours, but do whatever is normal for you to have a normal day, normal morning tomorrow. And then wake up at a regular time, whatever's regular for you. If you wake up 2 hours before you have to leave the house for school every day, do that tomorrow. If you wake up 20 minutes before you have to leave the house every day, you should do that tomorrow. Try to make tomorrow as normal as possible, because if you try to make it, oh, it's a special day, and if it's all about, I need to be over prepared and like overcompensate just because I'm taking this test tomorrow, it's just like any other day of class, okay? It's just that you're taking a test that, yeah, obviously will have impacts on your college decisions and your admissions and whatnot, but don't try to overcompensate too much and overcomplicate things for yourself that can actually stress you out. Keep it simple, do what you're used to, and hopefully that'll help you be a little less anxious on the day of. I would also recommend eat a decent breakfast, whatever's normal. Don't drink a Red Bull. Don't do drugs. And I think that basically covers it. It's a pretty simple plan, guys. A lot of people will end up cramming like all night the night before. They'll stay up until 2 a.m. They'll stress out of, oh, I need to learn this skill. I need to read this book. I need to take these practice problems. And they won't focus on what's really going to help them. What I told you will help you is really just two things. Take the sections you're weak in and look at all your past mistakes. If you review all your past mistakes and if you just focus on what you really need work on, then you will do better on the test tomorrow. And that's where you can potentially improve a point or two tonight on any given section, maybe even your overall score. Obviously, it's not guaranteed. It depends on you and your situation and what you are weak in, but it's definitely possible. That's basically it. I am going to keep this simple because you are cramming and you need to study for your test tomorrow. So best of luck, and I hope your test goes well. Be sure to subscribe. Leave a comment below. I will do my best to respond, but it is difficult because there are so many of you guys. I'm just kidding. I wish we had more views and comments, but that's basically it for me. Good luck on your test. And if you need any test materials, free tutoring, free resources, free practice exam PDFs, check out our website. It's linked down below. It should be linked somewhere on the page as well, video. Okay. Good luck.